Holla peeps, it's your girl Schree reporting live for SchreeTV. I want to send a special shout out to my girl Tracy and to Lee, Holla Lee. I gotta say happy birthday to her husband Michael. We're gonna call him at work at a decent hour. Baby's not awake yet. I'm watching the defense closing arguments and the Zimmerman, you know what I'm saying? It's early. Trial. Let me get a sip of coffee in. Hold up.
It's gone. Not there.
I know, Lori. Not Canada Lori, evil Lori. I did my nails. I couldn't stop.
Well, that was when we moved the sweatshirt up and we moved it back down, and the blood is all gone. Well, let's not forget. The blood was there after they moved the sweatshirt up.
Hold up.
So I was there after they moved the blood down, and it's actually still in the photograph.
Okay. Ooh. Early. First cup of coffee. Gregory, darling. I hope you're having a nice morning.
They want you to believe, just connect the dots, that there was no blood because there's no blood. They failed to properly preserve items like the sweatshirts, items like the body, it seems.
If I wake baby up, because Lee really wanted me to wake baby up at 4:30 in the morning, you know, because I got up to go to the bathroom and everything and logged on. Honey, I wouldn't have a wife. Okay? That's it. I love my baby. Okay. Put some powder on. Huh? Jeez. I mean, dang. Closing arguments, y'all. Hopefully this case will go to the jury today, and hopefully they will come back today. Wouldn't that be great if it went to their hands today and they came back today before 5 o'clock with a verdict of guilty? That would be so awesome. Justice for Trayvon. Trayvon. We all love Trayvon. I love him. Let me see, what color is this? Let me see. Can't open these with my nails. What? He's using stand-ups? I got him that time.
When I was standing next to him, and he testified that he was 5'10".
Use my brush.
And this was him. And how tall he is. Take a look at him compared to my high height. Relative physical abilities. That's what you have to look at to determine in a self-defense case. So, you look at this guy that night. John was out today. There's been testimony all over the place as to how much weight he gained. It doesn't really matter. What matters is how he looked that day. And how Trayvon looked that day. And I think evidence just so you get a clue, or not a clue, an indication.
I think a lot of the mistake is the vilification of the victim. Calling him a thug and, you know, maligning the dead. And he's a child. Oh yeah, nice kid. Too late. Oh no, my lipstick went underneath the Frigidaire. My daddy always called a refrigerator a Frigidaire. Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta go get it. My OCD is up here now, because I gotta go underneath the fridge. Hold up.
is that there's no muscle.
I got it.
Because there's no nerves. There's no movement.
Okay.
These are all happy blood. We know that. So on that that we have and on these medical
Some coffee on that one.
Yeah. It does look emaciated. But here's him 3 months before that night. So it's in that. Take a look at it. Because this
girl all upset.
And this is the person that George Zimmerman encountered that night. This is the person who...
Oh, what a jackass.
...was attacked. Or attacked George Zimmerman.
Trayvon was on the phone minding his own business, but he attacked George Zimmerman.
Something the state now may say, oh, maybe it was just a drain box, and it was no intent to hurt there by Trayvon Martin because it was just coincidence that he was...
Let me tell you something. My gym trains at that MMA stuff, and those people in there, they know how to kick ass. You watch them in there, it's just like that commercial with the girl kicking that bag and going off and everything. The credit card commercial. It's like that in there. Would you say you could take one class for free? I was thinking about it, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? My left shoulder is just getting, strong now. I don't want to fuck it up.
When George Zimmerman is walking back to his car, out of the darkness, be it bushes or darkness or left or behind or somewhere, Trayvon Martin came towards George Zimmerman.
You guys hear it?
And we know what happened. The big picture is what happened.
And then you have George Zimmerman just sitting there. His belly hanging out.
In context of what he was going through that night and how voluntary he gave all of those statements, and decide whether or not as
he should be hanging his head in shame, even if he didn't do it on purpose. A child is dead.
If anyone is giving me the same exact
Child is dead here. How about somebody looks sad, maybe?
They're probably pathological liars. Because when you lie, I guess, since you're making up a fantasy, you can tell the fantasy twice, the same exact way.
They don't even care about this child. There's no... Where's the love at? Ain't no love.
Answering every question they ask of you, then yeah, okay. Deal with the inconsistency however you want to. But maybe I'll suggest you begin by dealing with them the way Chris Serino did, since it was his case. And what he said
disturbing.
Was, yeah, those are consistencies. He said I hit 25 times. Nah, I don't believe it. It seemed he didn't get hit 25 times. Does it feel like he was getting hit 25 times? Maybe.
You need to hurry up.
Is that the embellishment, the exaggeration that Steve is talking about when they say to you, oh, he's exaggerating, he's a liar? He's a liar? Really? Come on.
Why does he keep going? Really? Really? Like, where are we? High school? Really?
If George Zimmerman had the intent to deceive,
really?
why would he give 6 statements?
Really?
If you're going to give him credit for anything about going to school and going through legal studies, here's one.
Really?
He knows self-defense.
Really?
He knows stand ground. He knows whatever the state wants you to think he knows, but he doesn't know Miranda. Oh, no. He knows Miranda, but he was such the mastermind that he could, without knowing any of the evidence, who was watching, who was videotaping, who was doing anything, without knowing any of that, he had it all sussed. He had it all figured out. Really?
Really? Put my clear coat on now.
Evidencing the mounting. What doesn't defy explanation is Officer Tim Smith's testimony that George Zimmerman's back was wet, more wet than the front, and he had grass all over his back. Evidencing, I would opine, he was on his back, in the grass. He was getting beat up. Manala, Jim Smith, Wagner, everybody else saw those injuries. So, okay. No head graphic, which is do still get me going over some of the instructions with you. Reasonable doubt.
He's going through the jury instructions with the jury. Really?
The judge has read it to you a couple of times already. You're going to get it again. Reasonable doubt. Don't start with the premise. Presumption of innocence sticks and stays until it is taken away by evidence that convinces you beyond a reasonable doubt that it is no longer appropriate to consider Mr. Zimmerman.
He's like, I know you've heard the instructions, but you're going to get them again.
Do you get to convict my client?
There's no doubt he killed the guy.
A reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt. If you got to make it up, that's not a reasonable doubt. We talked about me proving my case as though I had to. It's not a speculative doubt or an imaginary doubt or a forced doubt. If you have a doubt and you say to yourself, yeah, I'm by this doubt, I'm going to force myself to believe it, that would be a forced doubt isn't reasonable. But a reasonable doubt is not a mere possible doubt, speculative, imaginary, forced doubt. Such a doubt must not influence you to return a verdict of not guilty. If you have an abiding conviction of guilt, on the other hand, and this is the meat of it, if after carefully considering, comparing, and weighing all the evidence, there is not an abiding conviction of guilt, or of having that conviction, it is one which is not stable, one which wavers and vacillates. Then the charge is not going to be on a reasonable doubt, every reasonable doubt, and you must find George Zimmerman not guilty because the doubt is reasonable. I almost wish, and I've never said this in a criminal trial before, I never heard it being said before, I almost wish that the verdict had guilty, not guilty, and completely innocent. Because I would ask you to check the doubt. You gotta check the not guilty. And check the innocent end too. A reasonable doubt as to George Zimmerman's innocence may arise from the evidence, conflict in the evidence, or a lack of evidence. If you have a reasonable doubt, you should find George Zimmerman not guilty. If you have no reasonable doubt, you should find George Zimmerman guilty.
What an idiot. He just said you should find him guilty. Put that in their mind. Doesn't matter in which context.
That's that vantage point concern, how they really can look at it. The perception you have to see. For example, somebody came in, weeks off their mind, and give them less credibility. We don't have that here, but you have to look at it and decide whether or not they had an opportunity to see what they're talking about. They have an accurate memory. And we know that memory is affected by traumatic events. I think Ms. Sudaika is a good example of that. She was frantic about what she perceived was happening outside. And I think it may well have impacted on her ability to recall, not calling her anything but a person affected by the circumstances. For the honest and straightforward, I would put up on that pedestal Ms. Bahador. You'll call, but as for the she presented in a way that made some sense. If I heard this more, it would just seem to be saying, what's remembered? And very willing to show you. Did they have an interest in the outcome? Well, let me tell you something. When George Zimmerman gave those statements to law enforcement, he didn't know it, I don't think. He didn't seem he would have been charged in this case, but in his mind at the time, I presume you could say that he had an interest in telling the story as good he could for himself. So, sure. Was there an interest in the outcome? Absolutely. Did people trying to take away his liberty? Absolutely. Consider that when you look at those statements as well.
Okay, peace. I'll close this one down. More SchreeTV coming for you live. It's your girl Schree signing out for SchreeTV. I love you guys.